What's up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. I said yesterday on Twitter that I would make a video about this, so let's get into it. Nick Cannon, who many of you may know as the host of Wild and Out TV show, and he also used to be on America's Got Talent, among other shows that he's been on throughout the years. He was fired from Viacom CBS, which is the I guess the parent company of VH1 and MTV, simply because he refused to apologize for statements that were determined to be offensive to the Jewish community. Now, this is a familiar pattern that's played out many times over the years where the Jewish community and members, people like ADL and Alan Dershowitz and other members of the Jewish community who flex their power, they sit around and they stalk black people, black celebrities and entertainers in particular, and they try to keep them in check. They monitor them to make sure that they don't say or do anything that they deem to be out of line or out of pocket. Nick Cannon is an individual who had been with that company for around 15 years and has generated millions and millions of dollars for that company. He was a boss. He was employing other people of all races. And now, because he was not able to be broken by the traditional breaking tactics that the Jews use as it relates to black people, he was relieved of his job. Now, these are the same people who claim and swear up and down, we don't control entertainment, we don't control sports and any of these entities, we don't have any control over that. Yet, less than 48 hours from the time Nick said that he would not bow down and apologize for truth, he was out of there. So you tell me who controls what and who doesn't control what when you look at it like that. Now, Nick Cannon had a podcast, or has a podcast, I think called Cannon's Class, and he interviews a lot of different people, but he also interviews activists and uh, people who are really active in the black community and people that speak truth to power. He's had Professor Griff on the show, who's had his own controversy with the Jewish people. He's had Brother Abdul Malik Saeed Muhammad from the Nation of Islam on the show very recently. And Nick was also in attendance at the July 4th speech made by Minister Farrakhan, warning America, particularly the Jewish people. And we all know that Minister Farrakhan has been a target of the Jews for decades. Why Farrakhan? Why not this guy? Why not this leader? Why not this preacher? Why not this activist, this politician? Why Farrakhan? Because Farrakhan's the only one that they can't control, that they don't control. He's not in their pocket. He's not in bed with them in any form and fashion. And if any of you liars want to continue to perpetuate that lie, state your proof. State your proof. So the minister exposes them for who they are and what they've done and what they continue to do. And they have a problem with that because in their arrogance, in their uncheckable demeanor, they feel as though nobody is in a position of authority to criticize or correct them in any form or fashion. And at the same time, again, it tells on everything that they've done to black people and to people all around the world. Make no mistake. So Nick is gone now. I salute him for taking that stand, even though you don't want to see anybody lose their livelihood. But I respect the man having the fortitude enough to be willing to lose that. The same way a Colin Kaepernick did. The same way many before have done in the black community. Because Farrakhan is always the standard. He's always the name that the Jews use to punk black people out of position or punk them back into position. So you can go back as far as Barack Obama running for president. How do you feel about Farrakhan? You can go back to Arsenio Hall when he had his show, one of the hottest shows on, and He brings the minister on against the wishes of the network. Next thing you know, his show is canceled. Why Farrakhan? Now Nick Cannon's affiliated. And that's not to say Nick is joining the nation or he's close with Minister Farrakhan. That's not to say that. But it's to say that like-minded black people, even if we have differences in ideologies and opinions or whatever the case may be, if we are fighting for the same cause, we can put those differences to the side and work for the greater cause. That's how Nick's mind is working. It's not that he's joining up with any group, but he's also an individual, one of the rare black individuals among us celebrity-wise that are not gonna allow the Jewish community to bully him into telling him who he should and should not affiliate himself with. Or better yet, telling him who he better not affiliate himself with. So he's to be commended for that. This man has made millions of dollars for this company, so they demonstrate to you that all you are is money. All you are is property and a means by which they can become richer and more wealthy. And when they have no more use for you, they cut you loose. So it disturbs me because he also lost another job. He was on a show called The Masked Singer that came on Fox. They got rid of him off of that too. But it disturbs me to see black people who will continue to jump on that same bandwagon of repeating those same BS terms and quotes from Jews who want to discredit the minister. People like Jemele Hill, who actually lost her job from ESPN because she took a stand against racism. But that was years ago, so now maybe that she missing them ESPN checks and she trying to get back in. So she makes a statement where she shoots a slug at Minister Farrakhan. Because she trying to get back in. She been in that field too long. She ready to get back in the house. Her hands is bleeding from picking that cotton out in that field. She ready to get back in the house. So she goes out of her way in her criticism of Deshaun Jackson to shoot a slug at the minister. See, we got to get to the point where we start to hold black people and the Jewish community accountable for the things they say and they do against members of our community. Not just through canceling people on social media and things of that nature. But I know what you're thinking, man. We don't have the institutions. We don't have the ability and the powers to do that. Yes, you do. You got money. You got economic power collectively. You seen all these companies changing and policies and bowing down because of all this racial climate going on right now, and they see their money, they see their bottom line being in jeopardy. A lot of that's happening. That's a demonstration of how our collective dollar can move things until we separate. So Jemele Hill, she ready to get back on the plantation. So she knows the best way to do it, the best way to get that little pat on the head and come on back in the house is to shoot a slug at Minister Farrakhan. We got to start holding each other accountable for that type of stuff, man. And we got to start bombing on the ADL the same way they bomb on us and bomb on our the greats among us, and not be punked out of position because we speaking something that we know is the truth, the verifiable, researchable truth, but they don't like it because it exposes them, and we still apologize. Got to stop doing that. So I salute Nick Cannon. I salute everybody who takes those kind of stands and is not afraid to stand with not just Minister Farrakhan, but to stand on any truth. But definitely Minister Farrakhan. Because we at the time of the shootout at the OK Corral, this thing is coming to a head. So when it comes to a head, how will history remember you? Black man, black woman? Will you be the one that sold out for $1 in a place in master's house that he's gonna kick you out of anyway, in a house that's being condemned anyway? Or will you sacrifice for the cause of truth and standing on what you believe in no matter what you facing? You know how much Nick Cannon lost, man? And not only do they take that from you in the present, they make sure that you don't eat in the future. It may be hard for him to get back on somewhere, but that's where we got to come in at. We got to lift him up. We got to support any of his independent endeavors from here on out to keep him lifted up. And we got to do the same for each other. So tell me what y'all think. Not that I care, but I appreciate y'all. Peace.